This episode is brought to you by Airlink, high-speed internet technology that you deserve.
Drew Gandy, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Are you good? Are you ready to go?
I'm ready.
Are you like low energy or like?
I'm good. I've been up since like 6, so
okay.
I'm good.
Nice.
How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How's your mom?
Mom is good. Is that an inside joke?
No.
Okay.
My next question was, how's your dad?
Okay.
So, but how's your mom? I haven't seen her in a while.
Mom and dad are both good.
Good.
Nothing really new. They're in Colombia. My dad is still doing a lot of work, and
is he doing okay?
He's doing great. Yeah.
After his fantasy football championship loss.
Yes, he's fine, and I am fine as well.
Thanks for bringing back your guys' podcast for one episode.
For one episode, yeah.
I love it, man. It was when you guys were doing it, it was my, and trust me, I get it. If I had only like 2 or 3 or 4 downloads, I'd be like, this is a lot of work for 2 or 3 or 4 downloads.
It just, like over the years, it just kind of wore me out because we were only doing it for, like 4 or 5 people at the most.
Yes.
And it was, 2 hours every week. And then when we were then living in different places too,
it made it more difficult.
Kind of difficult.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, there was the, okay, this is actually some good context. Okay. When did the term Vietnam, where did that come from for you? Where did we hear that first?
Back in college.
Yeah.
I think I maybe even heard either Chris or maybe our friend Max say it, I think.
Yep.
And it just popped up, and we use it, terminology talking about college. And maybe other people said it too at CMU. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Learned it at college.
Yeah.
And our fantasy football league that we've been in for, 10 years now?
Since 2017, I think.
Is called the Vietnam Football, right?
Yeah.
What it is?
Yep.
And then was your podcast called, was it just the 2 G's?
The 2 G's.
Okay, it wasn't like Vietnam.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Gotcha. I was going to say, because I'm going to patent, Vietnam, so you can't take it. But anyway, yeah, Mark, I assume you're watching this. Congrats on getting to the championship this year and losing again. That stinks. But what's that like in the NFL? You're just the Bills. You're just the Bills. You keep getting close, and
only the Bills can't even get to the Super Bowl, though.
Dude, I know. I love all the excuses they don't have now this year. They're like, there's no Lamar, there's no Patrick, there's no whoever. There's another third one he can't ever get through. And then they lose to the Broncos. This was
literally the year to do it.
This was the year to do it.
And he couldn't do it.
It's probably not all on him, but, yeah. Anyway, how's your brother?
He's great. Saw everybody at Christmas time. So that's the last time I got to see him. My 2 nieces are doing fantastic. He is very, very, very busy, but he's good. Yeah, he kind of followed my dad's footsteps a little bit with getting a CPA, and he's controller now. So
nice.
Yes, he's good.
Oh my gosh, does your dad have a CPA?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he still has it. I mean, he got it, years ago.
Right, he's like CFO.
He just doesn't like doing the accounting
when
stuff.
When people ask me like what he does, which isn't that many people.
How do you even answer that?
I'm just like, he's like the CFO of everything. He just does it all. Like, I feel like he's like the Dave Ramsey of CFOs,
The easiest way that I usually say it, and Dad, if you're listening, I hope I don't botch this, but there's a lot of companies out there that may not want to have a full-time CFO.
Yep.
They have maybe an owner that's doing everything all at once, and they're not doing it well.
Right.
My dad comes in, and he gets everything straightened out, takes a look at their finances, and gives them an idea of where they need to go from where they are at that point in time. And so he'll do that with multiple clients around the area. He's had some out of state, some in state. So that's basically what he does.
It's like did you ever watch that TLC show, like The Nanny?
Yeah, yes. He's the nanny.
Mark, you're the nanny of like corporate finance.
Oh gosh, I've never thought of that. That's good.
I can't wait to see how he reacts to this.
I hope I didn't botch
I hope
that.
it's all in respect as well, because
of course.
Anyway, but Drew. Okay, so Drew is one of my longtime buddies. I've known you since like pretty much I moved to Fayette. Like met you pretty early.
Grade, 6th grade.
Yeah, I mean it was
grade.
7th grade for me. I don't know what grade you were in at homeschool at that point, but
we didn't have grades.
That's right. Okay.
I'm kidding.
So like, what were you on different colors? Like, did you progress through different colors in homeschool? But you went to like some independent school stuff, right?
Yeah.
When did you start going to real school?
Careful.
When did you start going to the government operation school?
So I never went to a government school.
Nice. Good.
But
Yeah.
8th grade.
Traditional Learning Center? Learning Center? You know? I don't know. Okay.
Oh, that's
Shut
too
up.
good. I want to get one of those shirts that says that.
Yeah.
Great.
There was one right behind my house up there.
Was there really?
Yeah. Right next to the sketchiest hotel I've ever seen in my life. Like not even
Wow.
Motel
Yeah.
6. This is Motel 2. I mean, just nothing. Yeah.
Wow. Anyway, 8th grade, started taking classes at Heritage Academy in Columbia. Rest in peace. They are no longer as of this year, but had a great
Bummer.
experience. I know.
Because I really enjoyed that trivia night. That's what I
That
liked
was the
doing.
highlight of your year.
For sure. I mean, that's the only time I went to Heritage was for the trivia night as an adult.
But me, my sister, and my brother, we all kind of went that route where we homeschooled and
You
then
have a sister?
Oh man,
I intentionally didn't ask
every time
how your sister
and now you're
was.
doing it on air.
I was going through, how's your mom, how's your dad, how's your brother?
Wait,
and I
you
was
have a
waiting
sister?
for you to be like, well, you know I have a sister. Sorry.
So
Sorry.
anyway, lots of inside jokes that are getting thrown into here that people are going to be like, what are they talking about?
I'm only doing this for Dylan.
Oh. Okay, fair enough. So yeah, Heritage actually started when my brother was going into his junior year of high school. And so he took his junior and senior year there. And then after that, kind of cycled through. My sister went there for high school stuff, and then I went there for high school stuff. And still got a homeschool diploma, but did sports there.
Did you say homeschool diploma or high school diploma?
I got a homeschool diploma.
Well, is that a thing
It's
for
a
real?
thing, yes.
Huh. What is it just a GED or what?
No, it's an actual official diploma that you have to. Oh, you're looking it up.
Yeah. What
Oh
is
my
a
goodness.
homeschool diploma? What is a homeschool diploma? Is a
I'm getting
legally
back-
recognized document issued by parents, umbrella schools, or accredited program certifying that a student has completed a high school course of study in compliance with state laws.
Some stand, I will say some states.
Is this like
probably-
hanging in your room still?
No.
Why
My mom-
not? Why is that a crazy question,
I don't
dude?
hang my college diploma in my room.
You don't?
No, I don't care.
I guess, did you ever finish?
Yes. Part of it.
Drew was doing super senior years before COVID.
Anyway, no, my mom probably has it somewhere though. But yeah, it's a real thing.
Wow.
Some states probably are more particular in what you have to show that you actually can get that documentation. But yeah. So I got it.
Well, anyway, my reason to invite you is because you're my friend, but also because we are in a I've been just kind of doing fitness-ish
Yep.
relative topics here in January. And so I was like, who are my strong friends? And so obviously you popped
Thank you for considering
into my brain.
me.
But if you actually need to listen to the podcast before this, because I was talking about my fitness journey and I was like, the people I've had on this month are, Mackenzie Wells, a fitness influencer, Elijah Nagby, I think a bodybuilder. And then I have Drew on next week, who, unless I'm unaware, has never been fat in his life. So I felt like it was good to give you context for myself. That's what I did in the solo podcast.
Okay.
But talk to me about your upbringing. Was sports always a part of it? Were you always skinny? Were you ever not skinny? Talk to me about just your upbringing in childhood and fitness and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So I have always been skinny. If you saw anyone from my mom's side of the family, then you'd see where it came from. I have even the females on my mom's side are like super tall. I have a female cousin who's like 6'3". She's a little taller than I am even.
Oh.
So super tall. I'm only 6'2", so pretty short, honestly, for considering the other guys in my family are like, 6'3", 6'4".
How tall is your dad?
5'11".
I don't know if I've ever seen him standing.
Because he's always working.
I don't know the last time I've seen him. Okay, but anyways, here's my issue.
Yeah, so I was always skinny, yes. Most of my life, I got tall. I was like a little taller for my age growing up. And then when I got into high school, I think that's when I got around to maybe 6 feet, maybe grew 2 more inches after that. But yeah, always relatively tall for my age. And then, going to the sports thing, I think from the time that I could walk, my dad probably put a baseball in my hand. So I don't know if it was like that for you early on in life playing baseball.
Not my dad, but
Okay. Okay.
This episode is brought to you by Airlink. Airlink. Since 2011, Airlink Broadband of Salisbury has been powering homes and businesses around here with fast and dependable internet. The goal of Airlink here is to bring you and our communities the kind of internet service that makes your life easier, smoother, and makes your life more enjoyable. Curious if Airlink is available to you? Head on over to getairlink.com. That's getairlink.com, or head over to the Airlink Facebook page that we'll link below. Airlink Broadband, great quality, local service, future facing. Let them prove it to you today.
Okay, so, but yeah, I got to deal with that now. Anyway. Do you ever edit anything out of this?
We're not editing that. I told Annie my goal today was just to try to bust you up the whole time.
I walked right into it.
And for some of you listening, this know exactly what's happening right now. And it's my favorite thing to do to Drew is when I know Drew knows something. So the way I've coped with trauma in my life is through humor. And you've been with me through most of my life. And so it's really fun when you're in a setting where not everybody knows about said trauma, that you make a joke about said trauma and Drew doesn't know who doesn't know around that said trauma. And so like I'll bring up something pretty serious.
And then I get
and
uncomfortable
Drew
for
is
you.
dead at the end of the table, like just sitting there hunched over, wondering. Anyway, sorry.
Okay,
so,
I'll try to keep a straight face.
No, you do whatever you want.
My father
We
put
can
a
about our
baseball,
fathers,
put my
but
baseball, put a baseball in my hand.
yeah.
Played that really most of my life. I didn't really get into other sports until high school. So baseball was always the main focus. A lot of kids look back at their childhood and think about family trips that they did, and maybe they went to church camps. All I did was play baseball.
Yeah.
And I don't really regret that. I honestly,
Were you raised in that house right there your whole life?
Moberly.
Moberly.
Born in Moberly.
So were you were born in Moberly?
Unfortunately.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, at the Moberly Hospital.
I'm so sorry. So you lived there for a while too?
Didn't move to Fayette till like 2001. So I would have been 7 years old. Yeah.
Wait, 2000 what?
1.
Oh, I thought you said 11. I was like, whoa.
2001. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
do you remember where you were when 9/11 happened?
I do. Yeah.
Where were you?
I was at the Fayette house.
Okay.
My cousins actually just left. They come and visited over the weekend, I think, and then got a call from my aunt saying, "Hey, you need to check the news." And that's when we found out. So yeah, I do remember pretty well.
I remember I was in Miss Holman's, I think it was first grade elementary school class. It's crazy to think that there's a generation of people and maybe people listening to this that have like no recollection of that.
Yeah.
I also remember where I was when Michael Jackson died.
I was
in the bathroom.
homeschooled, so I wouldn't know that.
Okay. Anyway, I was in the bathroom and the radio was on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Honestly, when did he die? Because I don't remember. It would have been what?
I don't know.
Before high school?
I mean, you know what? With media now, I don't even trust that anybody actually ever dies. But when did Michael? June 25th, 2009. So
Okay.
I would have been
I was a freshman.
we would have been freshman-ish. So,
Okay.
but anyway, so were you like, besides being raised in baseball, were you raised up, like, was it a pretty active like household? Like when you weren't playing baseball, what were you doing?
When was I not playing baseball? That's the question.
That's awesome.
I would say,
Like, was it an activity you did with your dad, your brother?
Dad, brother, and my sister did softball stuff too. So, one of our typical activities, like on a weekend, we would go to the middle school field here in Fayette, and we would do ground balls, fly balls, hitting the batting cage, and that was like a 2-3 hour time that we'd always do, like pretty much every single week. And then when I was at home, hitting off the tee, stuff like that. I don't know if you ever had a pitchback thing, and do you know what that is?
I mean, I had the thing that wrapped around a pole that you would hit and then would
so this was a thing
unwind.
that you'd actually throw a baseball into that was super elastic.
I know what you're talking
and the ball would, not pop off it.
Yeah,
it would
I used to like
rebound off of it.
That was usually for like single kids. They didn't have any siblings, so
Yeah.
they'd throw off the net. So, but anyway, so you did a lot of that.
Yes, I did a lot of that. But yeah, very outdoor type person. I mean, always doing, when you live out in the country, even though we didn't have like a farm, there's always stuff to do outside.
Yeah.
chore-wise,
Your dad
mowing.
strikes me as somebody who like made you also do push-ups a lot.
No.
Like
No.
I for some reason I was like, were you raised like in the calisthenics?
Not quite
area?
like that.
No. Okay.
I didn't really. So early on in life, didn't really do a lot of working out at all. It kind of my own volition. I did start doing a little bit of running kind of in high school. That was when I started playing soccer actually and started doing a lot of running just to be in shape for that. But then
Soccer
weights-wise,
like through Heritage?
Yeah, through Heritage, yeah.
Because they only had 2 sports?
Soccer, basketball, and they did actually have track and field for a couple years.
Yeah.
So that was it for the.
Did they have volleyball when you were there too?
Yeah, women's volleyball.
Oh, women's. Okay.
So women's had the volleyball and the soccer, and then for a brief amount of time they had baseball until it became the Columbia homeschool baseball team. So actually,
were you on that?
I was on that. Yeah.
Were you guys good?
We had some pretty decent players. It got really good when we became the Columbia homeschool baseball team because we had some studs on our team.
You
that
just
ended up
made up
playing
an
college.
all-star team of
Yeah, it was good. We had a pretty good team.
Would I know anybody on that team? Was Caroline's brother on that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, actually. He was on that.
Are y'all still good?
Yes.
Let me see your hand. Let me see your hand.
No.
Oh, nothing
stop.
on it. Okay, we're good. All right.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if you would have known of anyone else on the team. I don't think it.
Because you're like 2 years older than me, right?
Yeah.
How old are you right now? 32?
32.
Okay. Yeah. I just turned 31 yesterday. So it's only like, you're like a year and
Dang
4
it.
months.
Wait.
You texted me, I think.
No, I didn't.
You didn't.
But I
You
did
just
have it on my calendar. Let me double check to see
your
if
calendar
your
failed
birthday
you.
was on. It is. And I just didn't see it.
It's okay.
I'm so sorry.
That's fine.
Happy birthday.
It's okay. It's January. All right. This is not a good time to have a birthday. All right. There's nothing to do. People are like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm working and it's cold and I'll take my birthday off sometime this summer. That's what I'll do. So I really thought you texted me though.
I did not text you.
I'm gonna double check.
I wish I did. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Okay.
You don't listen to my podcast. You don't text me happy birthday. Just kidding. I think I was number 3 on your Spotify rap for podcasts.
You certainly were. Yes.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You didn't text
5.
me, but it's okay. You just said see you around 8:30. This is a great birthday present. Get hang out.
Okay.
So
I'll text you later. I'll say
the
happy
first
birthday.
time I met you, and you don't remember this, but you were like, I wish I had my glasses.
Oh no.
Anyway, we were like, hey, I'm Drew. Hey, I'm Landon. And then like the next subsequent question when you're in 7th grade is like, where do you live? And you were like, my house is the one with the freshly mowed bank at the Triangle.
Do you know who mowed that bank?
You, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, you were proud of it, but that was like the very clear thing. I remember you introducing yourself. You're like, I had the freshly mowed bank by the Triangle.
I did say that. I don't know why I decided that was what I would say.
Dude, I mean, you're
when I
proud
talk
of it,
about
right?
myself, I guess. And it would bother me, and it still bothers me when I go down like a country road, like highway, whatever. I'm not going to say where I live, and you just see these trashy lawns, that abut next to the road, and it's just super tall grass, and I hate it. It just looks really bad.
Yeah. I mean, until I caught seasonal allergies in high school, agreed with you because I was like, yeah, let's mow every piece of grass we can. And I think that's the baseball in us. That's like, yeah, dude, look at this pins drive, get it all good. I remember we invented taste ball at our house in Columbia growing up. And I remember I mowed a big W into the grass for the World Series that we had. I was like, oh, a W, it looked terrible. But still.
It's pretty great. But yeah, every baseball player has some sort of romance with grass
and dirt.
Yes,
absolutely.
It's true. And you could call it weird, but I think it's pretty natural.
I went to Busch Stadium in high school and first step on the field, because we went to sing the national anthem as a choir, handful of dirt shoved it in my pocket.
Wow. Oh,
Don't know where it's at now, but handful of dirt shoved it in my pocket. It's like,
my favorite field that I ever played on back in high school, it was our home field for the Columbia homeschool team. And it was on a private drive. You drive into it and you kind of go up. I don't think I can tell you.
How do I get in on this secret field?
It's got to know the right people.
Do you know the right people?
It's been so long. I don't know if it's even used anymore. I think actually the Mizzou club baseball team used to use it to play on. Really? But I don't know if it's still kept, if the guy that owns it still maintains it or not.
Your dad would know, right?
I don't know that he would.
I feel like your dad knows everything.
Nah, I don't think about that.
I do, but
anyway. I mean, I know the name of the person that owns the field. I could try to.
We should call him.
Anyway, beautiful field, romantic.
Okay,
romance with baseball, grass. I don't know where that came from originally.
I think that's a normal male instinct.
Yeah.
I think you'll relate to most people.
Yeah.
That as grass has become a chore for me, it's become annoying.
Sure.
Like why it grows so fast. I think as I've gotten older, it's just like I remember being a kid, mowing the grass was like my favorite chore.
Right.
In fact, like I wasn't allowed to do the riding mower for a while, which I felt like was just a discipline of like, no, you got to earn the riding mower. So I use a push mower, and I was a great little weed eater, you know.
Yep.
And then, dude, I picked up seasonal allergies when I was like 15. It was awful.
That sucks.
And I still have it. And they say it can be stress induced, which some things happened when I was 15. But I still like do allergy shots. But if I think I've told people if I didn't have a back surgery and seasonal allergies, I think I would be in like some sort of landscaping because I love stuff like that.
Cure seasonal allergies?
I don't know.
Is there anything out there?
See, I mean, without like
can it be a diet thing? Can it be?
Everybody's got some sort of meal plan to sell you for stuff like that. Can you cure seasonal allergies? Can't fully cure it, but you can effectively manage or significantly reduce long-term through treatments like allergies. So yeah, I've had plenty of people be like, hey, like just take this local honey. And I'm like, that's not going to do it. I've tried, like I've literally folks tried just about everything you can try.
Mm-hmm.
The kind of season allergies I get are in the spring. And then I have to it's gotten better as I've done allergy shots. But basically, like there's been some summer days where if I like go outside for like 2 seconds, I got to come back in and just lay on top of an air vent, like just to get clean air through my nose. So anyway, now I'm the guy who like mows with a mask on.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, you scared of catching COVID? And I'm like, no, I want to be able to breathe.
I will say when I was younger, again, I also, I still do and really enjoy mowing.
Yeah.
But when I was younger, I just, loved it. But now I don't know if it's just me or if anyone else has this problem where my ground is so dry and you got so many moles making molehills that when I mow, just all that dust just gets into my eyes.
Yeah, and I don't feel like the moles were there when we were kids. Is that global warming? Seriously, I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't remember that as a kid.
I think I did have we had a family dog when I was younger, and maybe she kept the mole count down. But
what kind of dog?
A golden retriever lab mix.
Oh,
yeah.
What was her name?
Maddie.
Yeah. I like human
Maddie.
names for dogs. It's fun.
Got run over by a truck when I was like sophomore in high school. It was sad. Yeah.
Right in front of your house?
I wasn't there.
But right in front of your house?
Probably, yes.
See, that's one of the arguments against a freshly mowed bank is because if you have it grown up a little bit, maybe animals well, I don't know.
Are you saying that I killed my dog?
Allegedly. I didn't say anything. I'm kidding.
Okay.
But anyway, so back to like your upbringing.
Yeah.
Your upbringing was always active. Your upbringing was always outside.
Yeah.
Sports were a part of what you did.
Yes.
You feel like your dad was like trying to make you a pro baseball player because he needed some money eventually?
Oh,
or
no.
like what was his goal for you?
I think his...
Joking, Mark.
And I would have to ask him because I haven't really asked him before. I would say his motivation came from baseball being something that he enjoyed so much. He wanted his kids to be able to have that same enjoyment that he took out of it. Yeah. I would say that's probably where it came from. My brother played as well. And I think I'm the one that ended up taking it and going with it the furthest. My brother, unfortunately, had a very, very late growth spurt in life. So he was always very, very short. And I'm not saying that that's a...
How tall is he now?
He's like 6 feet.
Yeah. All right. But so before you laugh,
just to
Cody,
say, and if he
5'6" Cody over there is giggling.
I don't think he'd mind me. I don't think he'd mind me saying this if he does listen to this. But even in high school, I think he was around 17 years old, and he still had to have a couple pillows on his when he drove in his car. And he got pulled. There was one time he got not pulled over, but he was at a gas station.
Yeah.
And a cop saw him and started asking him and checking on him because he thought that he was an underage driver, and he was 17 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. So very short. And so he did play baseball up until high school, but then in high school he didn't.
For some reason, I thought he did. He went down to.
He actually, I want to say he might have done a Harding.
He
might have done a tryout at some point, but he never actually played. Played a ton of slow pitch softball a lot of his life since college.
Are you still playing slow pitch? Occasionally,
a little bit. I played a little bit last year.
I'm pretty much done with it. I think I am.
I enjoy it, but
I don't enjoy the scene.
There are other things that I enjoy
a
lot more that I find to be better for me.
Yeah, better for me, better worth my time.
Like tennis,
Yes.
So
like for me, I was like, okay, I'm going to play slow pitch softball. I have to wake up at 4 a.m. because we can't play in Columbia. We have to play in St. Louis or Illinois or something. And I go there with hardly any of people I would call like my good friends that I want to hang out with. No offense to any of my softball buddies watching this, but I was like with people I wouldn't normally hang out with around drugs, alcohol, and bad music, and possibly lose 2 games and drive back by 10 a.m. No thanks.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. I was like, I think for me, I loved picking up tennis with you because I was just like, oh yeah, this is what I wanted to do with my friends.
Right.
This is what my friends do. Like if you were into cribbage, I would pick it up because that's what you just do with your friends. So I've really enjoyed picking up tennis because also I love how it helps our body too.
It
I
does.
think that's my favorite form of cardio for sure.
And there's research out there showing that people that play a paddle, I think it's not just tennis, but it's a paddle sport in general, have a longer lifespan, that it increases like 5 to 10 years of their life or so. So I
don't know why.
I don't know. I think it's probably
honestly movement, and maybe those people are also living like in Florida,
maybe
where you live longer, but
it might have something to do with the heart rate that you are at when you play tennis is like just that right level, that it's the best for you. I don't know.
Yeah, we weren't good when we started tennis either. I mean, we just were like, we're going to get a workout in and we're going to get better at this. And then we've gotten pretty good at it. Yeah. You went, oh, dude, let's talk about this. Okay. You went and competed and won a tournament this summer.
Yeah.
I got to do that.
That was fun. So me and my buddy Josh, we
have a new tennis buddy, Josh. I don't know if he watches these at all.
I don't know.
I haven't talked to him in a while. Have you talked to him in a while?
Oh, yeah. I see him almost every week because
he going to church
goes to church with me.
That's awesome, dude.
So he found a tournament to play in down in. It was in Springfield. There's not a lot of areas around here that have tournaments, so you almost have to go. There might be, Columbia might have some options, when we play in the spring and the summer. But found a tournament down there. It wasn't a very large one. There wasn't a ton of people that signed up. But the way tennis works, you go in at a certain ranking. So it's a USTA ranking. That's the official governing body for tennis. And because I never played before, in a tournament, I had no idea. You basically just have to self-rank. Yeah. And so I put myself at a particular rank, which I think it was a 3, which that number probably doesn't mean anything, which is fine. But played at a 3 and kind of discovered playing through the tournament, and I played pretty well. That's a level where you can definitely play around. You can, you know how to volley, you can somewhat serve, but you're very inconsistent. And next tournament that I play in, I did get ranked up already after the tournament, but it was not extremely difficult.
Yeah.
I think going in my first time. Yeah. I just wanted to get my feet wet a little bit. Yeah.
When we look at those rankings, like when you were looking at that and when I've looked into it, I'm like, I have no clue what intermediate
I had no
means.
idea.
I have no clue. What does beginner mean? So
to play it safe, Josh and I,
because we didn't
both
play
did that.
high school tennis.
Yep.
We have buddies that played like high school tennis. And I don't know what intermediate means and whatnot. So I think I'll play in a tournament. I'll probably either enter in at the rank you did or maybe just one above, just depending on how. I did not get to play as much tennis this past summer as I wanted to.
If you play this spring, then I think you could definitely rank yourself up at what would be a 3-5, I think. And that's where I will be. And that's
4, like, have you seen 4 and you're like, that's not me?
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
It could be if I play consistently.
Does it go all the way up to 10 or like what is the, let's just look this up.
I'm actually not sure.
USTA ranking system. 1 through 7.
7, okay.
Interesting.
Yep.
So 1.5 beginner to 7 is touring pro in 0.5 increments. Okay. So interesting. Yeah.
So
here, people also ask, how good is a 4.5 tennis player? Highly advanced recreational or club player, representing the top 10% of USTA league participants. So 3 to 3.5 is, mid-high. Interesting. So
what I found playing in that tournament is, again, the people weren't half bad. They're somewhat decent, but I move around the court pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Having
You're very athletic.
Having a track and field background really helps with tennis, I found. And
I think when we play tennis, I think I probably have more like tennis skill.
You
maybe.
do. Oh, you definitely do.
But you don't, like, I have to make you beat you because I'm not going to get very lucky hitting a ball past you. especially if I have to get to second serve or especially if I have to keep a volley in. So that's the annoying part of playing with Luke and you is I just call you squirrels. Like there's just not getting anything past you. You know, I have improved my drop shot a bit though. I think the last time we played, I landed some gnarly ones, but I'm excited to get back in shape with that. I also would love for you to get into golf. I know that that's not a thing in your family.
I don't think golf is in my future.
Ever?
I like to play it like once a year, maybe twice a year. And I get my I wouldn't even call it a golf fix because I haven't even played enough to
I think it's
be
your
addicted.
Confirmation that you hate it is what you do. You play it twice a year. Like, I still don't want to get into this.
I do kind of enjoy it though. And I play with Joe Ryan. And when we play, we do a scramble. It kind of takes the pressure off of me to have to play a full round of golf and look at how bad my score is.
Dude, we should all scramble together because I think me, you, Joe Ryan, scrambling, and maybe one other person would be fun. That'd be fun.
But I just don't want to, the amount of time it takes and the money that you have to invest in clubs. And then
much different than tennis.
And the fees. I just don't want to do that. I'm going to be honest.
I'm not telling you shouldn't. So.
I am, I have other priorities in my life right now.
That's right.
So those need to take precedence.
Yeah. Like what? Anyway, so those are time and money too. But so like sports was always a big part of it.
Yes.
When did so tell people about you went to college to pursue sports and then talk to me about your transition from sport to sport and athlete and all that stuff.
So I guess I'll start going into college, really all throughout high school, I did have a goal. I wanted to play college baseball.
Was CMU always the plan?
Didn't know where I wanted to play yet, but it kind of just came into fruit. It kind of came into being just out of, in a way, convenience because it's so close. And I was trying to save as much money as possible. So I would spend as little as possible. And private school is not cheap.
Nope. School is not cheap.
Yes. Unless you have a, parent that is a
I got to go tuition free at Central Methodist because my mom made $11.28 for 10 years straight at Central Methodist. So anyway.
All right, we got that out.
That's good.
Got it out.
Hope somebody watches that. Somebody who can make wage decisions at CMU. Anyway.
So yeah, it just kind of was a thing of convenience, but I did play on a prospect team in high school and got to play at some other colleges.
What was that? What was the prospect team?
What was the prospect team? It's called Team BC out of Columbia.
Like BC, like the fields?
Yeah.
Dude, yeah.
So I did that.
Those are for sale, or they were for sale.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? I didn't realize that.
If I was just bored and had tons of money, it'd be cool to own a baseball complex. Yeah, I would love to own a baseball like, I have so many different dream jobs. It depends on the week that you ask me. But wouldn't it be epic to just like manage a complex of fields?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It would be.
It'd be epic. All right, sorry.
So I did that. Played a fall and a summer season on the prospect team and did get to see a lot of other colleges. Some community colleges could have been an option that I could have taken. It would have actually been pretty cheap to do that too, because community college is way cheaper. It's probably a smart way to do it. But I think out of convenience, I decided just to go with CMU. It was close to home. I could live at home. I wasn't trying to, live out the college experience. I wanted to play baseball.
Yep.
And I wanted to do it as cheaply as possible, I guess.
Yeah.
So got the offer to go to CMU. It's just on a, what you would call like a reserve scholarship, which is fine for me. I wanted to work my way from the bottom.
Yeah.
I'd had people tell me, oh, don't go to CMU. Don't play baseball there because you're going to get, lost in the weeds. And they have like 70 people on their team. And it didn't keep me.
Which was true.
It was true. It was true.
Yeah.
But that's not what kept me from doing it. That actually gave me a drive to want to prove myself. So was able to get on the baseball team and actually got onto the varsity team going into kind of late fall. Didn't really play any varsity games until sophomore year. And I kind of ended up being the go-to outfield guy, reserve out, or we didn't start. I had a couple games that I started, but mostly I was kind of like, if they needed a better defensive player, I was the guy that they threw in the outfield. And I was okay with that role with the hopes of maybe, doing more later on. And my junior year, there are probably a couple of different factors. I would say one of them, and if Coach Breland is listening to this, which maybe he does, he would probably agree with this. I was not very good at managing my schedule. So one of the things that really bit me was I would miss weights multiple times and had trouble waking up for those 6 a.m. weights.
I was about to say like the 3:30 in the morning weights.
If you know me, you remember in college.
Oh yeah,
there were a lot of all-nighters I would spend.
Joe Ryan was studying. A bad influence on you. Joe Ryan was getting a Cherokee scholarship to go for free and play golf. Anyway.
So my bad schedule, time management, and it just didn't look good for me, I think. And I think I lacked opportunity because of that. So I think that was one of the factors that was in play there, but didn't get the kind of opportunity that I wanted to that year. And I ended up just having a really bad season, to be honest. I think I was all in my head. I was just trying to like prove myself, and I had all the pressure on myself to do really well. And it just wasn't happening. And I felt like I was working my butt off, from my perspective, to not really be able to do anything.
We were. That's what I was going to ask you. Was some of that part of that? Because the year before your junior year was the summer that we...
Yeah.
It was one of the most memorable summers.
It was a fun summer.
It was a really fun summer. You can tell them what we did.
Yeah, pretty much the entire summer. I think that might have been the first summer that it was Coach Obi that was his first year there at CMU, maybe. But he let us work out with the football team that was there. The guys that stayed there over the summer did the workouts with him. We even did a couple, at least I know I did. You might have as well.
Here's what I know we did. So we worked out you and I spent about 4 hours a day together every day. Usually we'd start around 7, and I think we would throw for an hour, we would hit for an hour, we would condition with the football team, and then we would lift. And then we would both you would go to CNR, I think, and I would go to Emmett's and work some long shifts.
That was summer.
It was the summer. I lasted about a month and a half before my back stuff really started getting after me. And I think, that was kind of the bane of my existence after that, but that was a fun summer.
That was a fun summer. And
I had the same thoughts. I was like, you know what? I'm going to take at least the excuses that are in my head out. I'm going to try to prepare myself. Nobody else was doing that, but me and you throwing and hitting and whatnot. But anyway, keep going.
So I put a lot of effort into doing this. This is kind of what I, in a way, spent my whole life doing. And it was kind of just a huge frustration for me at that point when I was at a crossroads where I'm not getting an opportunity, or also with the opportunity that I have, I'm squandering it, I felt like. And I decided to assess what I really wanted to do at that point. And I don't know where the idea first came. I'm really not sure. I think our friend Chris Bance, who did originally, he'd played baseball with me as well, and he'd stopped, and he ended up getting over and talking to the head track coach, Mark Nelson, and ran for him that year. And that would have been my junior year. And he had a really good experience doing that. And kind of in this conflict that I was having with what I wanted to do, I think that maybe came into my head, and I talked to Chris about it, and he, mentioned, you could do that. And he would definitely, track program would love to have you. So I think that was in my mind, and I never ran in my life, never competed, on a track program. I'd mentioned that Heritage had a track program for just a little while, a couple years. And there was one year, I think it was my sophomore year of high school, when I had convinced my parents to let me do baseball and track during track with Heritage. And that particular year, they didn't have enough kids, or the coaching situation fell through, and so they didn't have a team. So that was been my only chance to do track and field, and didn't get to. So here I am going into my senior year of college. What was been before that? It would have been my junior year when I was starting to think about this, kind of in the early spring. And I just was thinking in my head.
And I think you got bumped down to JV in that process.
I get bumped down to JV partly because of the weights thing, and partly because of lack of performance, I think.
Well, I think they had a huge transfer in.
And they did have a huge JUCO transfer as well, and there really wasn't a place for me. Yeah. And no fault to Coach Breland on that at all, to be honest.
It's his job,
honest, and also
for better or worse.
Also a blessing in disguise a little bit.
Yeah.
And it was going into spring break, actually. My mom knew I was really bummed out with everything that was going on, and knew that I was kind of trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And she suggested we go on a road trip. And we, yes, I went on a vacation with my mom.
So cool. No, I love that.
Yeah. So we took Route 66 and drove all the way down through, we ended up going to Albuquerque and then coming back. Because by that time, the amount of time it would take to go all the way to LA would just be way too long. So we went to Albuquerque and then came back and did that. And on that trip, probably like 2 days in, I get a call from Coach Breland. I think it was Coach Breland. It might have been assistant coach, Coach Ehlers at the time. And he said, hey, we had a guy that wasn't able to make it, or something happened where they needed an extra guy for their tournament they were going into during that spring break. Yeah. And he said, do you want to come? And I told him I'd call him back and kind of talk to my mom. And she's like, hey, we can turn around right now and you can go do this. And it was at that moment then I kind of made that decision. I said, all right, I think I'm going to call this quits and I'm going to not go to this tournament and I'm going to change my sights a little bit. And so called him back and said I wouldn't be able to make it. And
did you feel like that was kind of his evaluation of where you were at? Like, do you think he just needed a guy, or do you also think did you feel like by saying no to that, it was the end of baseball?
I think I could have kept playing if I wanted to at that point. In my mind, that was the culminating point to decide that, if I didn't want to do that, then it means my heart wasn't truly into it at that point.
Because I think probably the year prior, if you got that call.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I would have been there without a doubt. But because of that decision right then, that kind of gave me the opportunity and lay the roadwork for me to get into the track and field program. So, and I did talk, it was probably after spring break, I went and talked to Coach Nelson and asked if I could get on the team, and he said absolutely. So that's when I started doing track and field my senior year of college, having never done it before in my life.
Yeah. So. Was it kind of like that whole baseball, like, I feel like every baseball kid, me, you, eventually gets confronted with the reality that we're not ever going to wear that Cardinal uniform,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Was that one of those moments for you where you just kind of got hit with that reality of like, because I know for you in your brain, you're like, I've squandered this opportunity, blah, blah, blah. But also is that some of that reality too, going like, I'm also not good enough to touch this field compared to these other guys, like talk to me about some of that.
Yeah. I think mentally. There was definitely some of that. Again, my whole life was revolved around playing baseball and trying to get good at that sport and having a desire to want to play it for a very long time and have a future in it. And then when you get to that point in college when, this is life, this is, I'm at the bottom of the totem pole in a way and have to make a decision of what's more important to me in my life. And so there was definitely a lot of that going on. Another thing that I had to think about, and I am very thankful to my dad for this. I was kind of worried, I think, that when I presented this to him, that I said that I wanted to quit baseball, that it would be a problem for him. And he could not have been more supportive. I said, hey, I think I might want to completely change course and I want to try doing track and field. And he basically said, that's awesome. Sounds good. Awesome. It felt so good because I think I was worried about that because he'd spent a lot of his life, training me to play baseball, that by me deciding to call it quits, that would be an issue for him. And it wasn't at all. So, props to you, Dad. Cool.
Did he play any like college sports?
He did. He played baseball at Moval actually.
Oh, wow.
At least 1 or 2 years, I think. So he was pretty decent. I don't remember exactly what happened as far as in college about him continuing to play on or whatever, but
still, even just to get in there is not the easiest thing.
Yeah.
Talk to me about like your faith, your progression of when you would say you like became a believer or your progression of faith throughout the years.
Yeah.
Were you raised in it?
Great question. I was raised in the church. So I guess it starts with my parents became Christians in a campus ministry in college at
Moval.
Actually no. So my dad first went to Moval.
Okay.
And then I don't remember how long he ended up being there for. Ended up either transferring or stopping school for a while and then going to what's now Truman.
Oh.
Which would have been Northeast Missouri State.
Yeah.
So when my mom and dad went, it was Northeast Missouri State. That's where I met my mom. and they met in the campus ministry there at the college, and they became Christians in the ministry. And so that's, I guess you could say, where my story in a way begins. Because if they hadn't done that, then who knows where I would have been.
I didn't know he had Truman roots, because that's where my uncles and cousins coach, and I went there for a semester.
Right.
So very cool.
Right. So growing up, we did always go to church. It was always part of my life. I always knew in my mind, God exists, God is real, and I never had any doubt that the Bible said was true. So that was kind of from day one. I never had those doubts at all. Most of my life growing up, though, it was probably more just head knowledge, learning a lot about the Bible, reading the Bible, became very familiar with, all the stories and everything, but it didn't really change my life. I wasn't, aware that I was a dirty, rotten sinner and needed a savior, really, not that early in my life. That probably didn't come until high school. That's when it really started to become more real for me. And one of the things that brought that about, actually, at Heritage, I was in an English class. It's the coolest thing about a private school. You can talk about anything. So we get into a debate about baptism in my English class. It was great.
Awesome. Who's your English teacher at that point?
Mrs. Kendall was her name. I don't know where she is now, but she was awesome. I really, really enjoyed her. And she's very much promoted just, talking about just about anything in that class. And it was, we had a debate about baptism, and I was on the stance that baptism is kind of primary in your salvation, that it is commanded by God to be baptized, and that is part of the process of becoming saved. And as I was debating that, I hadn't even been baptized before. So I was like,
interesting.
I was like, I need to really think about what I believe here. And so I just started deep studying the Bible, and my dad encouraged me to do the same thing, because I think we talked about it, and he said, I want you to read this and this and this. And I really started studying the Word, and kind of gave me more of an idea, I think, of who Jesus is and what he did for me on the cross. And I did really have that understanding at that point in my life that, I can't do this on my own. My life is literally pointless without Jesus. And so I did become baptized. It would have been my sophomore year in high school. So that was when I was baptized. That would be when I say...
Where were you baptized at?
The Fayette Church of Christ.
Oh, cool.
On
they got
some
a little
random
pool in there?
Yeah,
or is it a pond?
It's a pool.
Okay.
It was some random Wednesday night. It was just me and my parents, and then some close family friends that were there.
That's very cool.
So that would be when I say that my Christian journey started, I guess. Yeah. My actual journey of Christianity. So that was my high school, and then going to college. So another thing that people would tell me about CMU, which I knew this going in, is that CMU is a very worldly college, and there's a lot of partiers and all that kind of thing. Yeah, which I knew that, campus. And I knew that. Yeah. I knew that. Living in Fayette, everyone kind of knows that, I think. Yeah. Especially if you live in town, I'm sure you knew that going in.
Right. It was not a picturesque Christian school.
Correct. Yeah. Everyone who
it wasn't Liberty or GCU.
Everyone who grew up in a Christian family and is familiar with the different Christian colleges out there kind of knows there's a distinction between Christian colleges that have a Christian name and then actual Christian colleges. Totally right. There is a distinction. Yep. And CMU is on the Christian college in name. It probably started out differently, but maybe it evolved as the Methodist Church evolved. I don't know where that split came, to be honest. I'm being honest. I'm throwing it out there.
Yeah. I would agree.
Or it just became that education became more of a focal point than religious beliefs, perhaps. I don't know. But
the religious beliefs probably don't pay the tuition, probably. So
probably not.
That's probably where that split came from.
But I also knew before going to CMU that there was a Navigators campus ministry on campus. I knew that because back in high school, I went to a concert, Shane and Shane concert.
Dude, Shane and Shane were in Fayette,
they went to Fayette.
That's a big deal, all right? I don't know how, if people really understand it, and I don't know who landed that. That must have been Adam Canote and Clayton must have landed that.
I would have to ask.
How much to book Shane and Shane now is let's see, anywhere from that's actually cheaper now. Anyway, $25,000, but I think for a moment there, I looked that up a few years ago when they were really big. It was like $100,000 plus. And so I'm like, holy cow, we landed Shane and Shane before they, and that started my love for Shane and Shane too. I was like, oh man, I'm going to change my name to Shane. We'll do it. Shane, Shane and Shane. So
I already knew the Navs were there, and I'd heard of the Navigators because I had a history teacher in high school at Heritage, Mr. Lindemann, one of my favorite people of all time. He was a missionary for the Navigators in Singapore for a couple years back when he was really young. And I knew all about the Navigators. I already knew about the topical memory system for learning and memorizing verses. And I knew this was on campus, and it's something that I wanted to be a part of because I wanted to grow in my faith. And I think it was it was either the first chapel that was on campus. I think it was the first chapel. And I saw a guy that I recognized from the concert, from the Shane and Shane concert, it would have been the prior year, I think. And I just went up to him. I introduced myself. I said, I'm Drew Gandy, and I want to get involved in that. So that was Clayton. It was Clayton. It was Clayton Kreisel. Yeah. So that was kind of where things started with me getting involved in the Navigators, and I became discipled by Clayton with a couple other guys.
Who was in your disciple group?
You're throwing me on the spot. Alan Anderson.
That's right.
And Jordan Arisman.
Jordan who?
Jordan Arisman. I don't know if you remember him. He played basketball. He was at least on the reserve team. I don't think he ever played varsity.
I remember it super well.
He may have transferred at some point, so you may not have connected with him.
For some reason, I thought you were in Joe Ryan's group, but
nope.
Cool.
So it was us three.
You keep up with Alan at all?
I haven't talked to him in quite a while.
Do you know where he's at? I don't. What's his name?
I have to look him.
Alan what?
Alan Anderson.
He
might be in Florida.
That's what I thought.
Because he did marine biology.
Was it marine biology? That's right. Alan, if you're listening to this, what's up, man? Alan Anderson.
I would think he'd pop up as a mutual friend at least.
I thought we were friends. Maybe he got rid of his Facebook. It's possible. Maybe. How did you spell Alan? Do you remember?
Allen.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he might have gotten rid of his Facebook.
Good for him.
Or I got blocked. Good. Sorry. If I did anything to cause that, my friend, I'm sorry.
Oh,
but I remember him. Yeah. He played baseball, right?
He did, yeah. So that was my discipleship group. And probably one of the best things that could have ever happened in my life was being involved with the Navs. That also got me to Trout Lake, working there a couple summers. And I know you obviously have
we worked at Trout together.
Good memories of that, and some important things happened there for you as well.
Yeah.
So when I look back at the foundation of my faith, that played such a big role, because I went from being someone that, yes, I believed in God, and I would have said that I loved the Lord, but I didn't really do anything with that. It's like, well, maybe it was affecting my life, but I wasn't having any effect on anyone else at all. And what I learned then from being involved in the Navigators is about knowing God, but then loving others, loving God and loving others. And that made me really change my perspective of why I'm here on this world. It's not just to live my life for myself. It's not just to follow a bunch of rules. It's to show others the love of Christ and to bring them to the Lord.
To know God and to make him known, I think was maybe.
To know God and to make him known. Yeah, I totally watched that. So, yeah.
Well, cool. Take me then to you win decathlon. Let's go there.
Bro.
So this guy goes from baseball to track, a sport he's never played.
Yeah.
Which, it's track. You're just running, right?
Yeah. So I guess I'll start with my senior year, which I did 2 years of track competitively. The nice thing about college, you get 10 total semesters of collegiate sports. Now you can only play 8 total of one sport, but if you play another sport, you get another couple semesters.
So I could go back and finish out 7 more baseball semesters.
Go find a golf program and you can.
Dude, that's the hack. That's what we should have done. When I realized Joe Ryan and Landon Rothgeb just get a free membership to Boonville and get to golf.
Yep.
To go to school. Come on. Anyway.
Yeah, that's the life.
Yeah.
So I knew going in that there would be a good chance that I could end up staying a 5th year. So, and also school-wise, here's the thing. My motivation level not great in my last couple of years. I struggled to even finish. If it wasn't for my wonderful professors who really cared about me and wanted to see me succeed, then I may not have even finished.
So the endless roasting by me and Dylan wasn't motivating for you. I mean, this dude finished a spring semester senior paper in August, weeks before the new year started.
Here's a slight aside. There is a class that I had with Dr. Jeffries. It was, I think it was a New Testament class, maybe.
Okay.
Guess how many assignments I turned in during the semester?
1?
0.
Oh my
gosh.
Guess
how many assignments I turned in the week of finals?
All of them.
All of them.
How many is that?
I don't know,
like a quiz a week. I'm pretty sure.
Right? It was a lot of different like write-ups and little. I don't even remember all the assignments. There was maybe one actual paper, and he was so gracious. He let me turn in everything after the fact. I don't know why he did that, but
Dr. Jeffries, I don't know why you did that. Can you explain to us? Like, is your pay attached to somebody actually doing their work?
All I'm saying is there were a lot of professors at CMU that really. Were out there to help me succeed, and you're not
because you also weren't a punk, right? Like teachers probably liked you. And
people did like me, and I had good relationships with them, and that I will say that goes a long way.
Absolutely. Does.
If I had any advice for someone going to college, it's get to know your professors.
Yeah,
because it makes a big difference, and it's not about being like a teacher's pet. Yeah, it's about
you'll look like a teacher's pet, but it's way more fun for. Yeah,
they enjoyed it way more, and that makes a difference because they're going to be more prone to wanting to help you out and help you succeed.
I remember though, I feel bad. I think some bad framework in my brain was like Dr. Jeffries was like an enemy to my faith. And again, thinking about how gracious he was to not just kick me out of that class. Because I remember just sitting in the back. I don't know if you were in this New Testament class. It was like me, Bance, Pepper.
I was not in that one, but I heard about it every single day.
It was me, Max, Bance, Pepper. You had what's our African friend who's a lawyer now in Michigan. Oh, he was so much fun.
Oh, Jeffrey Bilbay.
Yes. Oh my gosh, dude, that class was wild. But I sat in the back. Chris and I would be doing fantasy football on our laptops. And I kept 2 books with me. That one of them was called When Critics Ask, and the other one was like Skeptical Christianity. Because basically every argument Dr. Jeffries would make, I'm like, it's in this book. And I would just flip to it and be like, well, what you're saying is, and I was just such a douche in the back. Just like, well, Dr. Jeffries, you're wrong because this book says this. Back to fantasy football with Chris. And so anyway, Dr. Jeffries, thanks for being so gracious.
He was great.
To me. I would have kicked me out.
Yeah. I think it was more of a struggle my 5th year than my 4th year. But I kind of did set myself on a track where I needed to go a 5th year. So I had that in the back of my mind with the track stuff. I was like, all right, this year I'm going to try to learn as much as I can and try to get as good as possible and see what can happen next year.
Yeah.
And in that first year, so going into the fall, I had no idea what events that I was even going to do. And my coaches had no idea either. And we were just kind of sitting down after one of our first practices of the year and kind of talked. My coach was asking me what I might be interested in. And I kind of mentioned, I'd definitely like to do kind of the short sprints, maybe like the 100 or the 200. Oh, but because I play baseball, I think javelin would be kind of fun. Mm-hmm. And then I said, hurdles would be kind of fun too. So I just kind of kept throwing things out there. And then one of my coaches said, we're going to have you do the decathlon. And I was like, okay, cool. And they were kind of joking around, but I was very serious about it, that I wanted to do that.
And what is the decathlon?
The decathlon.
Is it 10 events?
10 events. So good job, Deca.
Nice.
10.
Nice. Got that public school.
The decathlon, you do 5 events in the first day, 5 events in the second day when you do this competition. And in the first day, you do the 100-meter dash, the long jump, the shot put, the high jump, and the 400.
Wait, say that again.
You do the 100-meter dash. You do the long jump. Mm-hmm. You do the shot put.
Mm-hmm.
You do the high jump. Mm-hmm. And then you do the 400.
Okay. All right.
Did I just go out of order? I said it in the right order the first time. Okay. Well, the second day, you do the 110-meter hurdles.
Okay.
You do pole vault, javelin, and the discus, and the 1500. So that's day 2.
1500? Why not 1600? Is it 1600 a mile?
1600 is basically a mile. Yeah. It's just how track works. It's not an American sport.
Yeah.
So, you got the 2 different days. My my goal in that first year again was just kind of learn as much as I could. And I had some really good coaches to help me out. One of my teammates, I would say one of the best influences on me, Nick Homan, who I don't know if you ever actually got to know at all. He's on Instagram as, I think you wouldn't mind me giving him his handle. It's that tattooed Vaulter. So
cool.
he's got all kinds of tats. He's currently a head coach at Webster University in St. Louis. Great teammate, and ended up being a teammate and then a coach and then a fellow coach as well. Kind of taught me everything I know about Olympic lifting as well.
Was your diet still atrocious at this point too? Because I remember your diet being pretty atrocious in college.
It wasn't great. It got better here's what I learned starting to do track. First off, I discovered immediately that you have to have a good sleep schedule or you will notice it right away. You'll run a training workout one day and you do that same workout again with no sleep and you can see the visible differences.
You can measure the difference.
And so exactly. And so that kind of got me thinking more about how I was treating my body. So that's when I started not doing all-nighters anymore.
Good.
And going to bed at a good time. And
less Casey's Pizza, probably.
Yes. At least trying to eat better. I didn't really know anything about nutrition other than, basic knowledge. But I did at that point, trying to avoid all more of the greasy foods. And I try to eat, salad, a lot of lean protein is really what I focus on. I try to eat as much as I could.
Were you on the campus meal plan at that point?
No.
Too? Yeah.
So
that would have been nice because that would have helped a little bit.
It would have. So
and then do that at home. That's hard.
I know. So at home, unfortunately, what I ate a lot of was just like sandwiches. I ate sandwiches for days.
Corn dogs.
So maybe some corn dogs.
One time, Drew and I were going to have that Trout Lake camps. What'd you eat? Like 11 corn dogs? At least.
I think it was 9.
Clean the camp out of corn dogs, and I had to eat Tyson chicken nuggets because we ran out of corn dogs.
The camp director called me out during our meeting too. It was great. So, I started taking my sleep and my nutrition a little bit more seriously. And that first year, I didn't do all too badly. Having never done any events before at all, I ended up qualifying for the nationals meet in the decathlon that spring season, and ended up getting a school record as well in that as well. Actually got the school record in the heptathlon as well, which is the indoor version of the decathlon.
What's hep? 7?
So hep is 7.
Hey, look at me.
So, now that being said, we hadn't had a lot of good multi-athletes in the past. So me getting the school record, it wasn't like, oh, wow.
Hey, don't discount yourself.
I'm just saying.
Set a record.
Just
because you were the first doesn't mean it's not a record. Has it been broken?
And it has been broken by Hayden Hackman.
Okay, that's a pretty good. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That wasn't like I broke your record a couple years later. Yeah.
So props to Hayden.
Yeah.
I made it to nationals that first year. Ended up having a couple pretty bad events, and I didn't end up doing well and finished. So when you go to nationals in the decathlon, I think it's 16 people that go. I think I ended up placing like 11th or 12th.
Okay.
I came in actually ranked about that. Then going into the next year though, so I had one main thing. I mentioned how I struggled with motivation, with school and everything. Mm-hmm. On top of that, I also had a relationship that didn't go very well and kind of hit me pretty hard at that point in my life. Your eyes are.
I'm trying to remember.
Your brain is turning right now. It was
Was it?
No.
What was it?
It was.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah.
You are going to cut that, right?
You're going to bleep that. Yeah. At least her name.
Okay.
Yeah. At least her name.
Okay. So I had a really tough breakup that hit me pretty hard, and I really didn't have any motivation to do anything. And I pretty much spent my entire time then just training. And I would, do weights. I would do, morning training. I would do afternoon training. And then we would go into the turf room and do pole vaulting. I'd be sometimes training as many as like 6 hours a day. And that's pretty much all I did with my life. I think if you ask my mom or my dad, they'd probably say they hardly even ever saw me my super senior year.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all I was doing. It was between that and then like going to NAV stuff on campus. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty much all I did. And
I didn't see you much that semester.
You probably
I think
didn't.
That was my last semester. Then we moved to Minnesota.
And there were some benefits to that. I really came into my own with some of the events that I was doing, and came into the indoor. I qualified for indoor nationals, which is the first part of that season, where it's like indoor nationals is in February, I believe.
Where was that at? Was that at IWU?
We had it in Tennessee.
Okay. All right.
At Middle Tennessee State. I forget. It's some
That's
small
a real
D1
thing.
college or something.
MTSU.
And I ended up no hiding in the high jump. I came in ranked like fourth or fifth.
You came in what?
I came in like fourth or fifth.
Yeah, but you said no hiding?
I no hided in the high jump.
What does that mean?
So no
you
hiding
didn't even get over the bar?
That means, yeah, you get 3 attempts on a particular height. And I started in at a height that I thought I could do, which I should have been able to do. And I ended up no hiding, which means I didn't get it at all.
Wow.
So with the way the decathlon
was your
works,
first event too?
It would have been like my second or my third event.
All right.
And just kind of ruined the whole thing. And the way with the decathlon, when you have a certain score or like a certain height that you hit or a certain time, there's points that are attributed to that. So by not getting any height on the high jump at all, it really ruins your chances of performing at all, or performing well and finishing well. So that kind of ruined my indoors and kind of lit a fire in me, because I was so mad at myself for that. And went into the outdoor season and had a kind of a different mindset with it, and I wouldn't say every single event I had a personal best in, but probably like 7 out of the 10 events I ended up having personal best in. Wow. And ended up winning nationals in that late spring. Gulf Shores, Alabama.
Oh, that's a cool place to go win nationals too.
But not in the end of May when the temperature is like 95 degrees.
Well, I would take that right now, absolutely. Would you rather be cold or warm?
Warm, but when competing sure. At 95-degree weather when you're running,
that's not great.
And you're doing 10 events, kind of sucks.
But I mean, like Minnesota or Florida, you'd probably pick Florida.
Oh,
like to live.
I would.
Same.
Because I can stand heat.
Right.
Cold is not fun, and you don't get outside, and you don't get vitamin D, and you get depressed.
Exactly. And then you're in a bad mood. So,
yeah.
So talk to me about your transition from graduating college to then either. Like, did you have I won't call it a relapse, but a moment where like you're done being a competing athlete? Did you take a big break from fitness? Did you know you needed to keep going at it right then? Like, were there some years in there and then you started getting really serious again about it? Because I know now you're very serious, still working out, doing a lot of those things. What was that transition like? Yeah.
So after I graduated and finished my degree in the summer,
as we discussed. That would have been 2017.
2017. I came back and took a graduate assistant position, first actually with the Learning and Teaching Center in the library, and ended up transitioning over to getting offered a GA position with the track and field program. So I did that for another 1.5 to 2 years. And during that time...
Did you get your master's doing that too?
Should have.
Oops.
Anyway, that's a sore spot.
Yeah, well, it's probably on you, but
it's on me. No, completely on me. That's why it's a sore spot.
Oh, okay.
So I coached for another couple years until the right when COVID hit. That spring was my last spring then, and I left. But during that time, though, I was super consistent. I continued to lift, continued to work out, continued to do the same training for the most part that I was actually doing during college. The cool thing about track, unlike other collegiate sports, is when you go to a meet, anyone can come and compete at it, as long as it's not the conference championship or some closed meet. If most of the meets are called like open meets, and so you can be a random guy off the street and you pay money and you can compete in that event.
You can come what?
Yes.
At a college?
Yes, at a college meet. Yeah.
Like I could show up and go throw a disc.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I did that. I competed what's called unattached. I ended up becoming affiliated with a track club out of Kansas City, and they paid for my track meets, which was nice. So I didn't have to pay that. Yeah. So me and my former coach / former teammate / fellow coach, Nick Homan, we both did the same thing. We'd compete at the meets that our CMU team would go to.
Wow.
And
did you what uniform did you wear?
The track program, the track club that I was out of called Kansas City Smoke.
CMU.
No, I wasn't allowed to wear that.
Gotcha.
So actually that first year after I graduated, I still had full intention of really trying to get better at my sport and see where that could take me. if I could have continued to progress, then there was an outside chance that I could make it into like USA Nationals. And so that was kind of my goal that I wanted to do. I did discover though, like being a coach and doing the stuff on campus, it's really hard to do everything else on top of trying to train yourself.
And you were making
difficult.
what, $600 a month maybe?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Nice.
So it was very difficult for me to continue to train to the same level that I was, just because coaching was more of the focus at that point. I still did do a couple of decathlons that next year. Didn't do really as well as I wanted to. Didn't score nearly as well as I had in the prior year, but I kept doing that. So fitness and everything after I graduated, it was very, very consistent and really still a majority of my life. Probably after I left CMU though. I spent a year in Columbia and then ended up moving back to Fayette. It was probably when I finally left CMU though, where I kind of had a little bit of a pit in a way of like fitness. It was during COVID and it was really hard to be motivated to do anything.
Your routines changed in two ways, COVID and no school routine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I tried to be consistent and it just kind of fell off the wayside. And my life would a lot of times be going to work, going home, and playing a lot of video games.
Yeah.
So, got really good at Rocket League during.
Are you still
those.
playing Rocket League?
I played the other night for the first time in about 3 months.
Wow,
So,
that's a long break for you. Drew and I got really into Rocket League.
Yeah.
COVID-ish till like 2023-ish.
Yeah.
Once I had Ellie, it was like...
And then I kept getting good at it.
Yeah, well, I mean, you and I got pretty good at it. Drew's very competitive, folks. So there was some times playing video games with Drew where, we'd be like, all right, we're going to stop now. This is getting too much. But I'm glad to hear that you've taken a break from it. That's good.
Yes.
That's good.
I've gone about a year or so without playing before and then got back into it. And it kind of just depends on the season in my life.
I relapsed this weekend on Age of Empires.
Whoa. Okay, so you're an unofficial member of the homeschool community then.
Because of that?
Because of that.
Yeah, I mean, I was basically homeschooled.
Yeah. Dude, that's such a good game though.
It's such a good game.
If you've never played Age of Empires, or it's like Civilization is also another really good one.
Yeah.
So fun. I first played that on a Windows 98 computer. Yeah. It was great.
But same. You don't realize how focused you are. Like I never realized that as a kid. When I played it, it was like this big snow weekend we had. So I have my old laptop from high school, pop it in there and go. And it can be 3 hours later. I haven't blinked. I'm just like, I'm building my army. And then I'm like, I still had like these big bags around my eyes from just like staring, just red eyes.
Yeah.
So I put the laptop back in the bag and it's not coming out till the next giant snow day.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
but yeah.
Fun times.
So I'm still recovering from that. I still have a little headache from it. But anyway, so
you
never really lost the routine or never really lost the ethic, I guess.
Right.
The habits have been hard as you've had transition over your life.
Right.
But for the most part, like when did you build your gym in your garage?
That would have been, so when I moved back to Fayette, would have been maybe 2022, 2023. Probably 2023, somewhere in there. Got a bonus at work and I knew that I wanted to make fitness more of a priority in my life because when I'm moving back to Fayette, I didn't really have anything to work out with. And
there was no gym at that time.
There was no gym at that time. And there's a gym at CMU that you're not technically supposed to use unless you're, work or go to school there. So I decided to take the hit and buy a bunch of weight equipment. So I got my squat rack and built an Olympic platform as well and got some dumbbells and kind of been slowly building since then and making it more of a priority in my life. I would say you go on like Instagram and you see all these influencers that are like, it seems like that's all they do with their life is they're so focused on this. I'm going to be honest. I go through spurts where I don't work out for a month at a time.
Yeah.
And
it's called reality.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was talking about it on my solo podcast. Like a lot of these influencers, and I know an influencer, right? I think it's just the consuming of the content. You just kind of believe that that's always the reality. Even though we know I'm lucky I made a workout today.
Yeah. But at this point where I'm at right now, if I'm getting if I get 3 to 5 workouts in a week, then that's where it's at least 3 workouts. If I'm getting a heavy squat and like a heavy bench press, then I'm sitting good on the week. And depending on where I am in my training routine, I can maybe, a little bit more focused on it. going into January, it's easy to make New Year's resolutions or whatever. But I tend to be more focused, more so because the fantasy football season ends right at the end of December. Suddenly I have all this time. And so what a better time to be more productive. It's not about resolutions.
This dude isn't hitting his fitness goals because of fantasy football.
I'm just saying the amount of time wasting
it is
on a fantasy
really
football app.
But I love it.
Watching all the football that I watched, it's a lot of time.
I canceled YouTube TV back in November.
Okay. Wow.
I haven't watched the NFL
you can watch local for free though.
I don't even know how to get a local channel on these smart TVs anymore.
Caroline just asked me this the other day, or it might have been someone else. No, it was actually Dylan. He's like, wait, how do you watch free TV? You literally go to the store, buy rabbit ears, plug them into your TV, and you get free TV.
I'm above that.
The rabbit ears are like $10.
I'm above that.
You grew up with those.
I know I did. I ain't ever going back.
Okay. I'm just saying they're out there. It's completely free.
I know.
I think
for me, I was like, I don't need to watch football. The Chiefs are bad anyway. And
you're going to watch the Super Bowl though, right?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, unless we're going to host a party, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I guess to circle back to your original question with like my fitness and everything and where I'm at now and what that transition has been like, I think finding a different sport to really get involved in has made a big difference for me because it gives me something to...
Is that tennis now?
It's tennis at this point. I mean, a little bit of softball. Like I played maybe 3 tournaments last year, but mostly tennis. It gives me something to push toward. Like I'm not just lifting just to lift.
Right.
Yeah, there's some part of, I want to be really healthy and I want to be able to...
Are you still like weighing out? Like, because you used to know like your fat percentage, I remember.
Yeah. Last time I did it was maybe early last year, I think. And I was at 7% body fat, I think. Which may or may not be accurate. It's one of the, is it called the Versa scan?
That's not like the top of your mind now.
No.
Just, you don't have like a goal of get to this weight, get to this. It's probably just maintaining.
I have weighed the exact same since about my junior year of college.
How much?
185 pounds.
185?
185. Yeah, a little bit of fluctuation up, a little bit down.
You ever been north of 200?
No, never.
Good for you.
But I would like to eventually creep up a little bit. If I could get like 195, then that would be probably
I'm trying to get there too. So
we can meet there together.
Meet in the middle.
Yeah. I was told by a doctor years ago after I'd had some back issues, he told me to try to never be over 200 pounds. So I never want to go over that, even if I do get, a lot bulkier than I am now. Yeah. But I do want to slowly work my way up to like 195. So that's an ultimate goal. Nice. I think a lot of it comes down to how I eat. Just this year or this month, I decided to try to do calorie counting, which I've never done before.
So Drew does this where he'll like just pick something to abuse himself with. And like, was it this fall that you cut out caffeine for a whole month?
Oh, I did. Yeah.
Was that this fall?
It was last year, in January.
That's right, dude.
Actually.
Things go so fast.
Yeah.
So do you still drink caffeine now?
Oh, I do.
Okay. All right. So you went back to it.
Oh, yeah. I think it's just good to give your body a complete cleanse from some type of stimulant like that and kind of give yourself a reset.
That and like, I think one of the themes we can wrap up here that I've always noticed about you is I think you would rather, for the sake of the virtue and the character, work harder, not smarter.
Yeah.
I think that's been a way to wrap up.
That's true.
Like a majority of everything I've known about you is, like, well, you could do this easier. And Drew's like, I don't care. I don't care. We're going to push mow this bank.
That's fair.
We're going to make this thing this way. So I think a lot of that ethic has always seemed to be in you. Does that come from your dad maybe?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like building that character.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah. You definitely are a work harder, not smarter, which I think,
to be
again,
honest,
like
it's just the truth.
Some of my path has been watching you do that and then realizing like a lot of your mindset, even as you've talked today, is just like doing the hard thing to like show yourself that you can do it. Not just because you have some big giant goal at the end of it. So, but I agree, having something in mind like tennis is good to keep you up with it. And then, who knows what the Lord will do in your life. Like my big motivator now is my kids and my family.
Right.
That's still a goal of yours, I assume.
It is. Yeah. It is.
Cool.
One of the biggest things I look forward to in my life. So I'm making steps.
He's not single, folks. Sorry. You're looking like a snack this morning, but it's not available. So, yeah. Anyway.
Oh, goodness.
Anything else you want to talk about?
I don't
like what's like your daily are you meal prepping? Like what's a day in the life look like for you right now in your fitness, health, and life journey?
Day in the life.
or even a week in the life, you know,
sure.
what it looks like for you.
Sure. Well, this particular month, I've been trying to make a goal of hitting 3,000 calories every single day.
So you're trying to go up.
Trying to go up.
I was going to say, I was like, dang, I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't
3,000
do that.
calories and then getting 185 grams of protein at least each day. Woo. And trying to do that, not no carb.
Sure.
But lower carb.
As little as possible.
If I'm hitting 100 or less.
How are you doing that? I mean, are you just grinding up chicken and
lot of eggs, chicken and ground beef. Look, I am a proponent of if it's good fat, a high fatty diet is really good. Avocados, ground beef are my two probably biggest sources of fat. And so I'm getting almost as much fat as I am protein, to be honest. And when you do a low carb diet, that is what the diet's going to look like. I'm no nutrition expert, but I have
you
a lot
think
of.
You're getting 185 grams of fat a day?
Yeah. Oh, I counted up.
Holy smokes. What do you track on?
I am using ChatGPT.
That a boy.
And I'll just write it down.
You just journal with them, right?
Yeah, I'll tell ChatGPT, this is what I ate today. Give me the macros for it, and then I'll just write it down for the day. It's the easiest way for me to do it.
Maybe I'll start doing that.
So doing that, and I'm wanting to see if I hit this particular calorie goal, if my weight does start to go up, or if I need to go and increase that more. Because if I want to have a goal of weighing 195, I just need to know where I need to be calorie wise. Yeah. So,
dude, these Uncrustables, those will get you there too.
Okay,
they're pretty complex from the ingredient standpoint.
I don't know if you want to get into the topic of where our wheat comes from, though.
Where wheat comes from?
Yeah. Here's the thing. I
assumed from wheat.
No. I mean, okay. I'm not a huge fan of I'm trying to avoid bread or processed bread. Yeah. Just because a lot of that's coming from places that are most likely sprayed with Roundup. And I'm really trying to avoid that. I think it probably has more of a negative effect than people realize.
Where did that conviction come from?
I listen to a lot of podcasts, so probably a lot comes from there, and then also from my mom as well, because she's a big fitness, or I would say nutrition guru. Yeah. So I've learned a lot from her. So that's probably
I got to get her on here so she can talk about her nutrition.
She could definitely
because I think what I'm hearing is not like you're on a fad diet, but just trying to reduce bad things that you put in your body.
Try to avoid processed
as best
foods,
as you can,
which is hard to do because it's expensive. It is so expensive, and I got to make ends meet.
Dude, but Aldi is, I seriously, when I pray at night and I'm thankful for things, Aldi is on my list with my family. Is it not? I go to Aldi and I'm like, I feel like I'm in the presence of the Lord sometimes. I'm just like, oh God. Thank you. This cheese is $1.99 instead of $4.99.
The price difference is significant, even compared to Walmart.
Yeah. So yes. Dude, and I always thought Hy-Vee was a good choice. No,
it's expensive. Triple. It's expensive. Yeah.
Anyway,
so yeah, just kind of planning out my food a little bit and my workouts. So I'm trying to get into a routine of working out early in the morning, which is tough because
did you do it this morning?
I didn't actually. The first half of the month was great. Second half of the month, I took a trip over a weekend and it kind of messed me up.
Where'd you go?
Arkansas for a wedding ceremony type of thing. So, but I'm trying to get myself to do that in the mornings so that I can use the rest of the day when I get home from work to not feel like I'm having to, do more stuff. And it's hard for me though, because in the early morning, it's usually my quiet time and my coffee time. And when you work out in the morning, your body really needs a good couple hours before you're fully awake. So I'm taking a hit by working out early in the morning. So I work in an ideal day. I'm waking up at around 5 o'clock, doing my quiet time. And then at 6 o'clock, I'm at least giving myself an extra hour. Yeah. And I'll then work out at 6 o'clock until 6 to 7 and then start getting ready for work. Yeah. So that's,
and I would assume then that's also hard though, when in the evenings when you want to see your people.
Oh yeah. During the week, it's fine. And the weekends can be tough with holding the schedule though. So.
Yep. I moved my workouts from the morning to the afternoon because it almost felt like, I think for me, I enjoy it so much and I didn't want to be rushed through it that I was like, let's just make this my end of day reward. Yeah. And just
here's another thing for me that I've just kind of learned recently. Never thought about this before. When you work out later in the day, it actually increases your cortisol, I believe.
Like stress levels.
Well, yeah, it's just the natural thing in your body.
Right.
But that causes you to have potentially a harder time going to sleep at night. So for your sleep schedule, it's actually better to work out earlier in the day than later in the day.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely do 3 or 4 o'clock, which I think gives me enough time to come back down. Yeah. And then I also just started doing, do you do like AG1 or anything like that?
Too expensive, man.
So I didn't do AG1, but I picked up AGZ.
Okay.
They just came out with a sleep supplement that I do like. And I also figured out that that is a qualified HSA expense.
Wow. Okay.
So, which I was like, wow, that's wild. Somebody else told me there's some crazy things that can actually be an HSA expense because if it's preventative care, it qualifies. Like you could almost probably put protein in there possibly.
No way.
Yeah, like there's some justifiable stuff that I'm like, is that really justifiable? But anyway, the AGZ stuff, I've been taking that and that's helped a little bit. But nothing prevents JJ from waking up 3 times a night. There ain't no supplement for that.
That's a tough thing. You have to throw everything out the window when you have kids.
Yes.
And there's just nothing you can do about it.
And I hope that's an encouragement to people because I think people watch people's fitness stories and they're like, man, they must get a perfect night's sleep. And then when they had kids, nothing changed. And I'm like, no, dude, it goes out the window when you have kids. Yeah. And the hopeful, gracious part of life is that hopefully you get another day to go and try to make another improvement or something like that. So yeah, I have definitely, especially in January, kids not sleeping, the motivation to work out is not there. But I literally feel better once I do it. Even if I feel like crap, if I go work out, I feel better.
Yesterday, so I didn't work out in the morning yesterday. Yesterday, throughout my afternoon of work, I was going back and forth in my mind. I don't want to work out. I have to work out. I don't want to work out. Dude. And I get home and I'm still agonizing over this. And then finally I'm like, screw it. I'm going to work out. And so I worked out and killed it.
And then you felt better.
I felt better.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
It's good. All right, man.
All right.
Anything else you want to talk about? You have any questions for me?
Is the podcast guest supposed to ask the questions?
I don't know.
I don't
think there's rules.
Okay.
That's a good question. I don't know.
I don't know either. I just asked a question. There you go.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Well, I think that's a great question. So.
Okay. All right.
We really fell flat there. What are you doing for work?
Work has been pretty interesting in the past almost 2 years now. So I've been working at a home medical supply company called Community Medical Equipment. We provide medical equipment for people that they need in their home. A lot of that is respiratory care, so patients that are needing supplemental oxygen, or a lot of our patients are sleep therapy patients, so needing like CPAPs and stuff like that. And so I do the purchasing for the entire company. We have 4 office locations. So our main office is in Glasgow. That's where my owners work out of and live out of, live in Glasgow. And then we have offices in Moberly and in Boonville and in Marshall as well. And on top of that, I also can just kind of deal with the day-to-day stuff, answering phones, helping patients. I actually do all the CPAP setups for our particular office as well.
Oh.
And then I also do some personnel management.
See, I thought you were just kind of in logistics. Is that where you started with them? Or has it always kind of been
It started out just inventory control slash purchasing, and it's evolved since then.
Good for you,
so
man.
I'm technically the HR person, I guess, now too.
That's good for you.
Hiring manager. Yeah. So actually just did some interviews this last week for one of our open positions.
I need some people, man. So
it's so hard to find.
Is Rachel still with you? Young?
No, unfortunately. She was great.
Where did she go?
She's at she and her husband like part own the grocery store that's there in Glasgow.
Charlie's, right?
Charlie's. Yeah. So that's been kind of, she had to make that a main focus for her this last year. So
Rachel, if you're listening to this, I'm still hiring.
But she was awesome. I miss her so much. Just for the little time that she was in the office, she was so good and such a good person to get to know. Super down to earth.
Well, if your rejected candidates if you feel like they would fit with me, you'd be like, hey, dude, this guy, I made 9 accepted job offers last year.
Wow.
That did not do their test in a 5-week period.
Wow. Yeah, that's tough.
Cool. And you think you like it? You think it'd be there a while?
It really depends on my future with, relationships and stuff.
I thought about like what song do you think of when you think of her name? Which one?
I know you think that I'm going to say.
So I think we're
talking about Sweet Caroline.
Nope.
Okay, good.
I think we're both thinking of John Foreman.
Oh, the John Foreman song. Yeah. I don't know the song.
Which one do you think of when you think of her name, though?
Well, originally kind of the Sweet Caroline, Neil Diamond song, I guess. Yeah. But
When I was thinking this morning, I was like, I wonder what song pops into my head, because when mine's the Caroline, the middle finger queen of a never mind. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it really, it just kind of depends on my future there, and but it's very, very challenging, and some days I go home and it's like I don't want to do anything. It can be so stressful at times, but then in other days it's like, this feels really fulfilling, and it's definitely a challenge, and I'm learning a lot doing it. So I see
and
myself
that's normal,
continuing.
folks.
Yeah,
so any message you would give to my listeners who are really trying to figure out fitness?
Don't stop doing something just because it's hard. Push through it and give it some time. Years and years ago, when I was a kid, there was something that I wanted to buy. I think it was maybe a video game or something, and my dad said, "Give it 30 days. If at the end of the 30 days you still want to do that, then go ahead." And I don't even remember what I ended up doing with that end of the 30 days. But the point being is, you give yourself some time to really try something and give it your best shot, and don't make those impulse decisions just because you don't like something, or because it doesn't feel right, or because it's difficult. I think you just got to give it some time and be willing to work hard at it. I think a lot of times people try to find something that they are passionate about in life, and I think sometimes it's more about getting good at something, and then you become passionate about that thing. And I think some people have that kind of reversed.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for spending time with me.
Absolutely.
It's always good to do that. I haven't hung out
awesome.
with you in a while.
Yeah.
And I've been thankful. I'm thankful that you exist, and that you're at least near me for however long the Lord lets us get to do that. So I appreciate you spending time with me, and thanks for being a listener of this show. That means a lot to me.
Appreciate you.
Anyway, cool. Thanks, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
We'll see you next week.